Daniel is now believe in himself, and the success has made him more confident, have more self-belief, have more faith in what he's capable of doing. I think he was
Boxing experts are stunned by Daniel Dubois' savage intensity in training camp. He's hitting harder, moving sharper, and training like a man possessed. The hunger in his eyes speaks volumes. Vengeance. Dubois looks reborn, focused, aggressive, and brutally determined to flip the script from his last outing against Oleksandr Usyk. But on the other side, Oleksandr Usyk has
Usyk in December and beat him. I'll reign all the belts that I should never have lost. And then I'll fight the Dubois and take that.
entered a terrifying level of preparation. Early footage shows the Ukrainian champion looking composed, fluid, and already in peak form. While Dubois builds for war, Usyk perfects the kill. His camp isn't just preparation, it's a signal. The execution is coming, and Usyk looks untouchable. Meanwhile, Tyson Fury storms into the spotlight. Spitting fire and vowing to destroy Usyk in a potential trilogy. But beneath the bravado lies desperation. Twice Usyk outclassed and outboxed Fury, stripping him of both belts and aura. Now, Fury's threats sound more like panic than power. This isn't redemption, it's a last gasp. While Fury howls, Usyk remains ice.
It's going to be a bloodbath. It's going to be totally different from last time. Can't wait to put on the show and become undisputed and just do the business. This is London. This is my town, and Wembley's my stadium. I'm just ready to win.
Cold, methodical, and lethal. He's not coming back to compete. He's returning to erase the myth of Tyson Fury once and for all. This isn't a comeback. It's a final, brutal statement. At the press conference, Dubois stormed into the spotlight like a man possessed. Loud, aggressive, and oozing intensity, he hurled threats of domination and redemption at a stone-faced Usyk.
Is a chance for Daniel Dubois to go down in British sporting folklore and to go and do the business, reverse that result.
But sitting across from the former Olympian, Dubois looked like a man trying to win the room with bravado alone. Usyk didn't flinch. His silence was colder than any jab. His stare, deadlier than any insult. And that's where the truth cracks through. Talk won't stop another collapse once the bell rings. Promoter Frank Warren is turning up the heat, framing July 19th not just as a title defense, but a moment of immortality. He paints this as Dubois'
A mature individual because he's older and wiser, comes from a completely different background. But Daniel Dubois is growing into himself. This will be one hell of a fight. This will be a proper fight, like all of the Usyk fights have been.
Shot at flipping the narrative, avenging humiliation, and rewriting his name into British boxing history. But beneath the hype lies the truth. This isn't just about belts. It's about redemption or ruin. Warren admits the stakes couldn't be higher. Dubois isn't just fighting Usyk, he's fighting the ghost of his own collapse, and everything changes depending on whether he delivers or crumbles again. Simon Jordan echoed the sentiment, calling the showdown between Usyk and Dubois a career-defining war. He praised Usyk's brilliance, Olympic pedigree, and mental composure, but then
Usyk, in your opinion, can't cope with that?
No one can. No one can. No one can. We'll bring our game. Like I said, Daniel has now spent, by the time this fight comes around, they would have spent 2 years, exactly 2 years with this.
Turned focus to Dubois. According to Jordan, the young British heavyweight is finally unlocking his full potential, and with that rise comes unpredictability. Jordan insisted this won't be a routine defense for Usyk. This will be chaos, a battlefield, a night where every second matters. In Jordan's eyes, the heavyweight hierarchy could be shattered. Trainer Don Charles added to the mounting storm of belief in Dubois. insisting
fighter. Daniel win, Horgovich, Miller, and Joshua. It's a great. Now, maybe Daniel better, but me better.
the fighter is no longer the raw, reckless kid who folded under Usyk's brilliance 2 years ago. Charles says, Dubois has undergone a ruthless transformation, now smarter, colder, and more calculated. He describes the rematch as a violent storm Usyk won't survive. But here's the reality. Usyk has seen power before and dismantled it with surgical precision. He thrives under pressure, adjusts mid-fight, and punishes
My preparation was good. We great do my work, sparring session, condition training. Everything okay.
every misstep with lethal execution. While Charles leans on emotional evolution, Usyk leans on legacy. The question is, has Dubois evolved enough to crack the mind of a master technician? Or is he charging headfirst into another cold, clinical masterclass? Despite all the noise, Usyk hasn't disrespected Dubois. In fact, he acknowledged Dubois as a tough, improved contender. Usyk praised Dubois for his impressive wins over Jarrell Miller and Anthony Joshua, noting that those victories reflect real growth and grit.
I think I'll give Dubois a shot in that fight. It's a good time. I mean, a little bit of inactivity because of the fight falling through against Joseph Parker, but, you know, it's exciting. And I think definitely...
But while he respects the progress, Usyk still sees a clear divide. To the Ukrainian, the gap isn't just about talent. It's about experience, ring IQ, and adaptability. And in those areas, he remains confident that class will separate hype from reality. In his words, Dubois may be better, but not better enough. In a recent interview, Usyk offered a glimpse into his mindset. He calmly revealed that his camp is operating like a well-oiled machine. Every aspect, from sparring to conditioning, is locked in with ruthless discipline. His body is sharp, reflexes tuned, strategy polished. Where others talk, he prepares in silence. For Usyk, this isn't about responding to hype. It's about...
This guy is a beast. He's a good fighter. He's a hard fighter to beat. And I think he'll learn from the mistakes he made in the first fight against Usyk, and it will give him a hard fight. Look, he has the tools.
Execution. Every movement, every session is part of a broader vision. A reminder that while Dubois brings fire, Usyk brings precision. And when July 19th arrives, it may not be a clash of equals. It may be the final chapter in a rivalry already decided by levels. This isn't just training, it's calculated war prep. While Daniel Dubois is shouting about redemption and roaring for revenge, Oleksandr Usyk's message is chillingly simple. Everything is good, everything is ready, and everything is about to fall into place, just like last time. Promoter Eddie Hearn tries to project optimism, framing a hopeful narrative for Dubois. But the cracks in
Usyk press conference, he's not going to start flipping tables and kicking off and this, that, and the other. He's going to play a few little games and mind games and that. But aside from that, pretty chill and relaxed.
His voice say it all. He doesn't sound convinced. Hearn's attempts to talk up Dubois are less motivational and more like pre-fight damage control. The truth? Dubois is walking straight into a nightmare. That humiliating collapse against Joseph Parker, followed by a long layoff, hasn't sharpened him. It's dulled his edge, ruined his rhythm, and exposed some deeply worrying vulnerabilities. Meanwhile, Alexander Usyk isn't just prepared, he's thriving. Active, disciplined, and
he believes in himself, you know, and that's why he's talking the way that he's talking right now. He's a different proposition to the one that was boxing Alexander Usyk a couple of years ago. And he goes, not just physically, not just mentally, he totally believes in himself.
Built for controlled chaos, Usyk is a fighter at the peak of his powers. No injuries, no distractions, no signs of slowing down. Dubois may be entering this fight with loud intentions, but he picked the worst possible moment to face the most calculated destroyer in the division. Amir Khan has stepped in to offer bold support for Dubois. He hails the young heavyweight as a beast, insisting he's evolved since the last Usyk fight. Khan praises Dubois' raw power, determination, and willingness to learn from failure. Traits he believes could turn this rematch into a different story. But here's the uncomfortable truth. Usyk isn't just another fighter. He's a
Alexander Usyk is the best fighter in boxing, period. Of this generation, what he's done at cruiserweight, what he's done at heavyweight, what he's done to all the other British fighters, to do the double over AJ, the double over...
surgical assassin. While Khan's support might sound inspiring, even he knows that power alone won't topple a master tactician. Usyk doesn't just win, he breaks fighters down mentally, physically, and systematically. Masatuma echoed this cautionary tone, warning that Dubois isn't just facing a man, he's facing a puzzle few have ever solved. Usyk operates on a level that exposes flaws, punishes hesitation, and neutralizes aggression with unnerving ease. Unless Dubois has somehow developed elite-level precision overnight, this won't be a tale of redemption, it'll be a repeat, possibly written even more brutally than before. Fabio Wardley offered perhaps the most chilling perspective, focusing on Usyk's mindset. He warns that Usyk's calm demeanor is more terrifying than any trash talk or theatrical press conference antics. While some fighters flip tables, scream for attention, or talk endlessly to hype themselves up, Usyk remains silent, calculated, cold, controlled. Wardley highlights that this mental stillness is what makes Usyk so lethal. He never panics, never strays from strategy. While Dubois brings fire, Usyk brings ice, and that composure could be the difference. Usyk doesn't just fight with his fists, he fights with his mind. And in that silent war, Wardley believes Usyk is already winning. Against a man who thrives in the storm, Dubois will need more than knockout power, he'll need mental steel. And right now, that edge belongs entirely to Usyk. Spencer Oliver brings a sharp, supportive view of Dubois, insisting he's no longer the same man who crumbled against Usyk in their first bout. According to Oliver, Dubois has transformed into a more complete fighter, physically tougher, mentally stronger, and most importantly, armed with unshakable belief. He calls it a game changer, a fighter reborn through failure. But Adam Smith fires back with a cold dose of reality. Belief alone doesn't conquer brilliance, Smith warns. Facing Usyk, a tactical genius with an iron grip on chaos, requires more than just confidence. It demands perfection. Smith doesn't hold back, calling Usyk the absolute pinnacle of modern boxing. He declares that no fighter in this generation comes close. Usyk's dominance at cruiserweight and flawless rise through the heavyweight ranks have elevated him to a different tier. Smith underscores Usyk's back-to-back dismantling of Anthony Joshua and hints that a clean sweep of Tyson Fury would make him untouchable in the annals of boxing history. He emphasizes Usyk's unmatched intelligence, adaptability, and calm destruction of elite opponents, proof that he's levels above anyone else in the division. Heavyweight boxing has seen punchers, giants, and knockout machines, but none possess Usyk's complete mastery. As Duke McKenzie bluntly puts it, Usyk isn't just building a legacy, he's rewriting history with every round. Against that kind of opponent, even confident, improved challengers like Dubois begin to look less like threats and more like stepping stones. Now, as the storm builds toward fight night, the heavyweight world holds its breath. Can Daniel Dubois rewrite his legacy and rise from the ashes? Or will Usyk once again expose the ever-widening gap between belief and brilliance? Dubois enters this battle louder, stronger, and undeniably more confident. But Usyk remains the calm executioner, a man who dismantles chaos with surgical precision. This isn't just a rematch, it's a psychological war, a clash between hype and history. And while Dubois roars with vengeance, Usyk sharpens the blade in silence. Every round will define a legacy, every second will test the truth. And in the end, only one man will rise from the fire untouched. Will power finally prevail, or will the technician once again prove that greatness isn't claimed, it's earned? Drop your thoughts in the comments. Will it be redemption for Dubois, or repeat dominance from Usyk? The moment of truth is coming, and the heavyweight division will never be the same.